Hi, everyone. So, this is going to be a bit of a strange and random reading, but I was actually in the process of getting ready to go to dinner tonight. And all of a sudden, I felt this like wave of emotional energy rush over me. And the moment that these emotions sort of were rushing through, the message came to me that what you are processing is ancestral. And I felt that this related specifically to a divine feminine who needed to hear this. So, this is a divine feminine reading for someone who has been feeling sudden waves of fear or panic or anxiety recently. And what I'm hearing is that this is actually connected to something on an ancestral level that you are clearing. So, for the divine feminine that I'm speaking to here, and by the way, this reading is definitely going to be very specific. It probably won't be very long. I just really wanted to get this message out there. But what I'm picking up is that if this is for you, you have been feeling sudden waves of fear or anxiety that seem to surface out of nowhere, and there's some kind of connection with the solar plexus. So you may suddenly get like butterflies in your stomach feelings or something like that. There also seems to be something related to the sacral chakra. So this can also be like the lower abdomen area. So I don't know if you've been getting certain sensations in either of those areas that feel associated with these waves of emotion. Of course, I'm not a doctor or medical professional, so I always recommend speaking to a doctor with any concerns that you might have. But what I'm getting is that there is something that you are clearing. There is a deep fear that you are clearing around stability, around security, and around your ability to receive. And this seems to run through the feminine line of your literal family, of your ancestry. And so if you were to look back, I'm hearing at either your mother or your grandmother or further down the line, I'm getting that there were relatives that came before you, whether it was a mother figure or a grandmother or a great-grandmother, that really dealt with a lot of insecurity and instability. And I'm not just talking about insecurity related to something like physical appearance, although that could be the case as well. But this actually feels like really deep insecurity, like feeling unstable in the physical world, feeling unsure of, I'm hearing for many of them, even just on like a basic survival level. And so I'm hearing survival mode, like the feminine energies that came before you were in some kind of survival mode. And what I'm getting is that you still carry the lingering vibrations of this survival mode energy in your frequency, even though you are not physically in that survival state. So for whoever I'm speaking to here, the strange thing about this anxiety or these fears is that it may have been something that you've dealt with off and on your entire life that's had no known explanation, that feels unexplainable, but that's because it didn't originate with you and it's not actually connected to your personal physical life circumstances. It's an energy that you are clearing and stabilizing for your family's line. And if it's felt like it has intensified more recently, what I'm getting is that the reason for this is actually because of how far you've come and because of how much you've healed. So when you're going through this, there of course would be the tendency to say, this must be happening because I am backsliding, but the opposite is actually true. I'm hearing you can reframe that mantra to yourself by saying, this must be happening because I am healing, or because I'm ready for this, or because I've progressed so far that I'm ready to hold more. And so this lingering energy that was processed through, like passed through my family's line is now being cleared through me. I'm hearing it stops with me. I feel this is you quite literally breaking a generational curse. I saw the number 444. And of course, when I talk about generational curses, I'm really just talking about limiting programs, patterns, or belief systems that tend to get handed down through generations. And I feel you have certain belief systems like that were handed down through your family's line, specifically through your feminine ancestry, that are now reaching you. Yeah, a lot of the feminines who came before you with Healer of the Ages reversed and the solar plexus chakra reversed, they lacked a foundation within themselves. And this came from not having a healed internal masculine energy. So they were not capable of, I'm hearing first in a family. So you may be the first in your family's line to do certain things, to create certain things. Or if you haven't already seen that play out, then this is your sign that you are going to be the first in your family to do or to accomplish some very big things in this world. So naturally, when you are the first in your family's line to do or accomplish certain things in the world, that also means you are the one tasked with breaking the generational curse, with essentially awakening yourself. With the man holding a coin upright, I'm getting that you've been awakening some kind of like internal structure, a sense of confidence within yourself, and closing doors to all other possible timelines. Yeah, I'm getting that you've had so many opportunities where you could have just settled. You could have just fallen in line and chosen a path where you could kind of gain some sort of temporary stability without needing to completely heal yourself and show up for yourself and put yourself out there and become this most confident version of yourself. Like, I'm feeling there were ways you could have sort of put a Band-Aid on it instead of actually breaking the generational curse, but you closed all of those doors. You said, no, I am choosing to awaken. I am choosing to heal myself. I am like digging in and deciding that this ends with me, that I am going to break the pattern. But again, this hasn't been easy because when you are the one who is breaking the pattern, you are also the one hearing the echoes of everyone who came before you who maybe couldn't break that pattern or who may have not even been consciously aware of it. So it's almost like you are feeling in your body all of the lingering vibrations of fear or insecurity or doubt or uncertainty that came from your family's line that are clearing themselves through you. I'm hearing everything after you is going to be different because of you. The sense that I get is that you are quite literally setting the tone for any future generations that may flow through your family's line, whether it's your direct children or nieces or nephews or just future generations that are branching off from other parts of your family, so to speak. I feel that what you are clearing is affecting them as well. It's like some pattern is stopping with you, but it has been a challenge. And especially recently, I've been picking up a lot of doubt energy, a lot of uncertainty kind of energy. But I'm also hearing that part of the reason this is coming in for you right now is because you are actually about to enter the greatest growth phase of your entire life. So what you're clearing right now through your family's line is actually preparing you for stepping into that timeline, for actually becoming the most abundant, successful, powerful, confident, loved, loving, creative, inspired, and inspiring version of yourself ever. And there's something about all of those energies where it's like a two-sided equation. Like, this is the era where you are going to, yes, feel the most loved, but also feel like you are the greatest beacon of love. You're going to feel the most abundant, but you're also going to be the most generous. It's like a two-way street in a way. I see that flow moving both directions for you. And I feel like you've been catching visions of this timeline you're now stepping into for a really long time. But now that it's here, there may be that slight bit of intimidation, especially with this final clearing and purging that's taking place, which of course, part of why this clearing of your feminine ancestral line is coming up for you now, Divine Feminine, is because, of course, we are also in this final portion of the year of the snake. If you are listening in February 2026, although these readings are all technically timeless, so whenever it finds you, I feel there is most likely some message that's meant for you. Always use your intuition on that, of course, but I feel that this reading will meet you when you are ready for it, when you are meant to find it. But what I'm getting is that with strategy reversed, it's almost like your plans are being turned upside down, but you're also being prepared for the greatest growth phase, the greatest success phase, abundance phase, love phase of your entire life. But the sense that I'm getting and the message I'm getting from your guides tonight is you have to let go of what you thought that was going to look like. There is this sense that the way this is going to play out and the way this is going to look is going to fulfill all of your desires consciously and unconsciously. But there's an emphasis here on the unconscious desires, because there are so many things that you may not even be consciously aware of that you want. These could be like unconscious emotional needs or desires, or things that you never would have even imagined possible, or that you never could have imagined could work out in certain ways. And I feel your guides, your spirit guides, your higher self, God, the universe, whatever divine forces you connect with, trying to coordinate these circumstances, so to speak, behind the scenes that work with your conscious and subconscious desires, that coordinate and align everything and time everything perfectly, that are better than you ever could have envisioned or imagined consciously. And yet I feel at times your mind has been getting in the way, because there's that fear coming up of like, but I can't control it. I can't even really define it. Where are things going to go from here? And what I'm getting is tap into the emotion of it, tap into the energy of it, well, I spoke on this in the collective reading I just channeled that's coming out tomorrow. So do subscribe to stay tuned for that collective reading. It's going to go a lot deeper into some of this. This is kind of just a mini reading to preview some of that energy. But what I am getting is that you are being pushed to release the expectation of exactly how things need to look, when it needs to happen, the timing, the exact alignment of things, and really lean into, well, there's a couple points of guidance coming up here. First, allow yourself to connect with the energy of it. So, for example, instead of maybe being overly specific with exactly, let's say, how you want your body to look or how you want to appear physically, this is just one example. It would be focusing on feeling good in your body, feeling strong and healthy and nourished and confident and self-loving, and noticing all of the attributes that make you uniquely beautiful and that make you feel confident, and allowing the energy of that to amplify, like saturating yourself in that energy, the emotion of it, and then letting the details follow naturally. And you can apply this to any area of life, like with your work, focusing on the aspects of your work that feel good to you, or that you'd like to do more of, or that feel exciting or exhilarating, or to follow that feeling of passion instead of trying to kind of arm twist the universe in a way to define the exact specifics of exactly what things need to look like. Because the kind of message that's coming through is like, when you tap into the heart space of it, the emotional center of the desire, instead of defining the details, you become a super powerful manifester, because that is when you attract in what is in heart resonance with you, those things that just magically appear out of nowhere in the most serendipitous way and just somehow seem to incorporate all of your desires, again, even like the unconscious ones, and feel so unfathomably just wonderful and fulfilling to you. Those things that just, it's like that person that you meet when you weren't looking for anyone, or a job that just comes up and is perfect and gets offered to you without you even seeking it out or needing to define it clearly. It's those kinds of manifestations that I feel you stepping into. But I'm getting that any mechanisms in the mind that once tried to control to get that false sense of security, which again is tied to what your ancestors needed, like that physical sense of security, anything tied to that is being uprooted. It's like, I see someone's grip being like forcibly released, like you're being forced to let go and to relax and to release control and to allow things to unfold. But the timeline that you're stepping into is truly going to be your best one yet. And I know that it feels kind of like you're teetering on the energy, like a part of you really feels that and knows that. And then another part of you is like, but can I really trust it? Is this actually happening for me? So I feel that this video comes for you when you are meant to really know beyond any shadow of a doubt that yes, this is happening for you. You can trust those glimpses of a vision that you've been having as you've been starting to kind of sense into things really coming together for you. The sense that I get is, yeah, this like teetering, like this wobbling back and forth. Like one minute you see this broad, beautiful, complete vision of your life, and it feels amazing and exciting, and you feel like everything's coming together. And then the next minute you might suddenly feel like, I don't know what's going to happen in this next step. You might feel those fears, those waves of anxiety that sometimes aren't even really connected to actual things happening in your waking physical life, because again, they are spiritual energies being released through you. This is ancestral energetic residue that is being cleared through you because you were the strong one in your feminine line, like the strong one able to carry this, to handle this, to clear this. And again, it's not been easy for you, but this is also how you are going to live a life beyond what any of your ancestors ever could have imagined. I'm hearing you were the one that they predicted. It's almost like your ancestors always knew on some level that someone like you would be born into the family's line who would change everything forever. And in fact, for some of you divine feminines, you may have literally had, for example, your mom, your grandmother, feminine relatives say things like that too, like something about you is just different or special, or like, I knew when you were born that you were special. You may have heard those things. If not, many people have thought those things about you kind of unexplainably, but it's because they were spiritually sensing that you were the one destined to change the trajectory of your family's line forever. And I just keep getting that like first in a family kind of line coming out here, that there are so many things you've already done or will be doing in your life that have literally never been done before in this ancestral line that you are a part of. And so the message is coming through to release control, to keep trusting yourself. But when it comes to working with this energy, what I'm also getting is that there's a balance here. Because when we talk about letting go of control, there can be the temptation to go all the way into our feminine without balancing it with our inner masculine. So to say, well, I'm just going to let go of any form or semblance of structure. And often there's a period of time as we're healing as a divine feminine where we have to do that, where it's actually healing for us to let go of all of the structure and to just heal our feminine. But what we find over time is that when we reintegrate our healed masculine energy through creating self-supportive structure in our lives, it can actually amplify our gifts spiritually, because that safe container that we create around those gifts for ourselves allows us to feel even more grounded and secure, and that only serves to further deepen our feminine energy. So they play together in a balance, that masculine and feminine essence within us. And if you would like support in balancing those aspects within yourself and allowing yourself to really access that balanced state of being where your internal masculine and feminine are harmonizing and you're able to create forward confidently, powerfully, but also in flow, then I really recommend my subliminal to balance your internal divine feminine and divine masculine. I will leave the exact name of it down below in the pinned comment or description. It's from my subliminals app, Sound and Soulful, which I know many of you have already. I've personally found this specific subliminal to be super powerful, especially if you're a divine feminine who's been on this path of healing your inner masculine, learning to show up for yourself, use your voice, support yourself. This will really help you on that path. So if you're interested in learning more, then you can click the link under this video in the pinned comment or description box to start using that as a tool and resource along your journey. But otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and close this reading here. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you for sharing your light and your energy here on the channel. I would love to do more deep dives like this for the divine feminine in the future. So subscribe and turn on notifications if you like this video so you get notified whenever I post new videos that may relate to something like this that you could be experiencing in your own life. Otherwise, have an amazing, magical, beautiful day, and I will connect with you here again in the next video.